good afternoon. Welcome to Gladstone Bowl here in Gladstone, Missouri. Ryan Ragland with you, the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, as we have high scores and a tie. I don't have the officials yet. They haven't been mentioned. Dan's been saving those, but we do have a tie between Tony Yarborough and Daryl Dersler for second and third place. So we're going to run the tiebreaker real quick, and we'll see who'll be in second, third. Scores are high quick. I think there's 36 that can be on the front page out of 58, and I think after 651 was, and I won't try to get Dan. I won't be able to carry him. But I do know that like 651 was like 38th or something like that, first on the sheet at the very bottom. And yeah, scores. There's not many people that did not average 200. Scores are just astronomical here at Gladstone and great condition. They hook. The friction down lane doesn't change. The spot down lane doesn't change. It stays there. It's probably one of my favorite conditions I bowled on, even though I didn't do anything the first three games. So I'm going to see if I can get a copy. We'll get some music going here real quick. We'll let these guys get practiced up real quick, and when we come back, we'll have the tie, or the tiebreaker between Tony Yarborough and Daryl Dersler here in a few moments. Get started with the tiebreaker between Tony Yarborough and Daryl Dersler, as I think on the coin flip, Tony decided he was going to go. Let's see, I think Daryl won the flip. So the spare for Tony, and we'll get the 1709 plus 309 is leading. Tony and Daryl went 1706. Both of them missed the lead by 6 pins. 303 was Tony Monta Jr. and Rafe Terry at 293, and Eric Van Hooser, he was at 282. He was leading after 5, I believe, and just caught some bad breaks. Dave Pritz from Salina was 276 over. Brandon Leibel from Wathena, Kansas at 275 over. Doug Herninger from Grime, Iowa at 274 over. Jesse Cannon from Hot Springs, Arkansas was 269 over. Mike Vanderbrugge at 258 over. He's 11th. Brian Manini at 256 and 12th. Don Breeden from Urbandale, Iowa. He was 13th at 252. And Steve Points from Omaha at 241. So it took 241 to make it happen. Man, that washout doesn't look good for Darrell, but this is just the tiebreaker for second and third place. And he gets that one chasing, so just needing to stay clean in the 10th for Tony. And he'll take the tiebreaker. Tony's gets a good shot there. In fact, we're going to raise the camera here in a second. In fact, let me do that after the spare for Tony because we got a little bit of a low angle and I haven't had a chance to move that up a little bit. Somehow, the camera keeps getting bumped. Not sure why. So Tony Yarbrough is going to advance to second place, and we'll let the guys, Brave Terry and Tony Monda Jr. get their practice in. We'll get the camera raised up a little bit, and we'll be back with the stepladder finals here in a few minutes. All right, Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast table with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour here in Gladstone Bowl in Gladstone, Missouri. Huge thanks to all the sponsors for the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Bullmore Lanes and Osage Beach and Route 66 in Lebanon, Missouri. Huge help with keeping the tournament going. Lisa Finley with Schiller Insurance. Also Finley Transportation in St. Joe, Storm, Rotogrip, 900 Global, along with Renewal Anderson Windows and Face Designs and McCarthy Auto Group. So huge thanks to all the sponsors for keeping this going. Real quick, we'll go through the games for the 4th and 5th place bowlers. He gave me more than I needed. With Tony Monda Jr. and Rafe Terry. As Tony Monda goes 245, 280, 181, 237, 56, 67, 37 for 303 over. And Rafe Terry goes 211, 22, 79, 76. Really made a big jump for him. Had a 203, kind of subsided a little bit, and then comes back with 45, 57, gives him 393 over. So, and on this pair, Tony Monda Jr. shoots 280, and Rafe did not have this pair. So we'll have to see how that comes into play. As I think they're about ready, and as soon as they get the scores on, we'll get the scores cropped so we can see them a lot better. As with this system, they don't show them on there until the practice is over with. All righty, we got the practice done. I'll get this cropped up real quick so we can actually see the scores.
This lady.
There we go. I think we can. I actually got that pretty close. If you can, chime in and let me know how well you can see that. If I need to adjust a little bit, I had to unplug something a little bit so I could get the other camera raised up a little bit. But Tony Monda is throwing the phase 2, and he threw that all 7 games. And he's doing what Tony Monda does, and he's moved in away from the friction. He was getting it right pretty well. And he's probably one of the best at just altering the shot enough so you just point it off the pattern and not off the heavy friction that you had earlier. And I I promise I'm going to find someone else around here because you don't want to just listen to me. Oh, we can get, yeah. Get this Betty Crocker guy over here. Come on, man. No, you decided you're gonna. Where's your sheet at? There you go. Go ahead. Take the mic real quick. I know you look at it and you get scared. I mean, John Crocker sat down real quick, and I mean, that's about as consistent as you're going to get. You really didn't have the super high game. You didn't have the bad game. I mean, you go 220, you go 26, 35. And then from that, your low game was 242. Your high game was 257. I think you're going to take that for 5 games.
I will all day long.
And 3 times on Sunday.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to stay with the same ball all day. I had a pretty good look. The lanes started getting a little frosty, but other than that, I mean, just stayed consistent all day, made my spares, and hope for the best.
I did not see a whole lot of people make ball change. I made a ball change because it was better than what I thought I was going to have, and I needed to change my angle because I just wasn't throwing it well. And I go from an RSTX2 to a red, white, and blue hustle that had lane shine on it. I stuck with it, and all I did was just change the angle to the friction down lane. I don't know many people that changed equipment throughout the day. And even Tony, I'm crossing next to him. He was on the phase 2 all 7 games.
Yeah, I was the same way because all I did was just change my angles a little bit, and I tried.
We got the hecklers down there.
I got the hecklers. I got my pit crew, Mike and my brother.
Well, now wait a minute. You're ball repping for him when he's on it, but now that you're on it, he's just going to heckle you.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. These guys are.
That's brotherly.
They
love,
take
man.
no prisoners, no matter what's going on.
And you get the short end of the stick all the time when we turn around.
Man, every time I turn around, I got to be on the defense. But yeah, I kept up with the lanes and the transition, and then everything worked out so far.
This pattern, and I'm just being totally honest. This pattern, even the way it was playing early, plays into exactly. See you later, Eric. Nice pulling, man. It lends right into what Tony likes to do. Mm-hmm. He likes to start left, just find that spot down lane and let it roll. Mm-hmm. And he, from pair to pair, at least from what I saw, there wasn't a whole lot of difference.
No.
I mean, you're going to have the transition, but you didn't go from pair to pair where, okay, I go from 21 to 22 down to 1 and 2, and I'm like, well, this is nice. And
we caught 1 and 2 the first out of the gate, so it was actually pretty nice. But they were actually, I would say, just a tick sharp on the ends. If you wasn't careful with the speed, yeah, I noticed a lot of balls. Everybody get rid of their big balls within 5 frames of the first game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and if you were throwing it out to that spot, you did not have to help it.
No.
Just get it off your hand, pry it, let it roll, and let it work. And that's what Tony does.
Yep.
With his.
That's exactly how I did today. I let the ball go to work. I just put it in the right spot, and everything went well. So.
And there wasn't once, and it. Everyone says house shots don't create puddles. We bowled enough house shots where they create. This house here, there is no puddle.
No.
There's none. It doesn't happen.
No.
And I told Moorhead, I crossed with him. I told him, I said, this, I'm not afraid to say, this might be the best house shot condition in the Kansas City area.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, if you tugged it a little bit and you was tight, a lot of 4 pins, but other than that, you just put it in the area and it was turning left pretty good.
And I like with Rafe with his spin, he can sit there and firm it up, and he can play up against the friction and throw it harder, and he's not going to sit there and loop it. He's going to get that heavy pitches, which is what I try to do with my hustle. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of other guys. See you later, Brandon. And there was a lot of other guys that I saw that were throwing control stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to put it that way.
Yeah, and a lot of big balls went to bed early today, which was kind of nice.
had a DNA I could put some service on that would have been perfect for this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to argue. My hustle was working pretty well. It's probably, I keep telling people, it might be the best $95 I spent.
That's what I threw all day was a Zen. I mean,
That's a good ball for it too.
It's I used the Zen down at Sterling, stayed
Yep.
consistent. I just couldn't get the carry.
Yeah, and you guys got you and your brother got that from me after the first game.
Yeah, we saw. Yeah, we're watching Ryan. Let's cheat a little bit here. Let's get out the Zens and roll.
And it worked out well. I didn't change the ball there either. Of course, I didn't cash again, but I'm glad to help someone.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
I know.
You just don't realize it. We're watching all the time.
I know.
I got my.
I might as well be the ball advisor.
I know. That's what we're going to call you from now on. All right. Well, I got my boys are staring at me. I better get down and get focused. I'm about to take a beating here.
Well, and
Yes.
Bush is sitting down
Joe,
with
you
the
got
beer,
Joe
so you know
Bush.
you're in trouble.
So he's got nothing but funny things to say about people.
And he won't crack a smile either.
He won't. He tries. He's mad because we bought him a little orange flag so we can see him walking through the crowd. All right, I got to go. I got to focus.
Is that only because there's too many gray hairs around here with not much up top?
He's not very tall, so it's kind of like riding a bike. You see the little kid with the orange flag? Yeah, that's how we spot him.
It's like Brad Williams, the comedian, talking about walking through the snow in New York. He's going to take that little flag and tag it on so that way they know they can find him.
We'll catch Joe anywhere. All right.
All right.
Ryan, thanks for having me.
Good luck, man.
All right.
John Crocker, real quick, joining us here, and it's never boring. It's never boring. I guess I could have changed. In fact, I'll do this real quick. Got to make it official, and yeah, 3-bagger and on that miss, not something that Tony does. And hey, I made a little bit. And Rafe really needs to jump on this. Right now, Rafe controls his destiny if he can keep the string going. Right now, it'd be 3 pins up. In fact, I need to get, I'm looking at the sheet, and it shows 38. And to be in 38th spot, you still had to be 129 over. That is, in fact, I was showing my my doubles partner for nationals. I was sending him a copy of this, of the sheet after 3, and I go, dude, look at these scores. So yeah, 38th place. You're 129 over, and you're bottom of the first sheet. That's some scores right there. And real quick, hit the chat and let us know where you're at. Let's see. JB Odell, I see the big fella started bowling. Yep. Just a heads up, mic volume is a little low. I have my PC and speakers mic'd up, can barely hear you. Well, let's try this here. Let's try this. Let me know if that works out a little bit better. I didn't want to get the levels up too high. I can adjust these down, so let me know if that's a little bit better. Mana, yeah, it's a habit of mine. It is Mana. I have a habit of calling him Mana. Let me know if that's a little bit better since I turned it up. Hopefully you can hear a little bit better. If I need to turn that up a little bit more, I can. So Rafe right now down by 8 on the spare. That's a little bit better, but can you also max the OBS 225%? And I'm not gonna, I'll just turn it up a little bit more. I don't want to do too much with the settings right now. I can turn it up a little bit more. Let me know if that's a little bit better there. I think Rafe is throwing the Teal Rhino, the new one that Brunswick just released. And Rafe just has that ability. He can really get that spin and just, I don't want to, if he really wanted to, he could do a lot like they do with the Japanese bowlers and kind of do that back end flip to it. All right, thanks BJ. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with the. I guess I could have looked at the level a little bit better, but I have it fed through a separate box. Someone's order is ready. Everybody knows that your order is ready now. Right when Tony was getting ready to bowl. It is a great ball for cliff shots, but that's just it. This is not a cliff shot house, or I didn't feel like it was cliffy. It was just you could throw any angle, just get the right ball. You could throw any angle, you could throw it right, you could play it up, get your axis tilt up a little bit, you can still get it to push. The last time I bowled here, I could throw my X and throw it like 10-5, but I never tried that because it's indicative that if I start right, I'm going to have to jump traffic at some point, and I'd just rather stay ahead of it if I can. So that's basically what I did. It was a big shot for Tony. Really needs to set up the 9th frame with Rafe already set with a strike in the 8th. That ball stopped on him for a second, but it finished enough to take the 7 out. And yes, I hate these microphones because they do that, but I can't find a sponge cushion or something, a soft sponge to absorb that. I'll try to find that next time. So 229 max for Rafe. 226. Oh, that hurts. And I'll tell you what, I think I have to look at my pen pal, but I think I had at least 5 of those. And he covers that one. I had 2 8-pins, 4 9-pins. Okay. It felt like I had more than that, to be totally honest. So now the max for Rafe is 209. And Tony at a 206 pace. And he goes wrapped in. Makes a shot. Rafe is going to be like me sometime. He's going to make a mistake and he's going to win one of these. Both me and him kind of have a problem getting away, trying to finish anything over third place. It just doesn't happen. So 198 possibility with a strike. So just a mark for Tony. And count will get him the win. And 197. So spare and 2. Spare and 2 will get the win for Tony. Yeah, it's a pretty good spare. So Tony Mana Jr. is going to advance. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with the next match with Tony Mana Jr. Tony Mana Jr. and Daryl Dersler. We'll be back in a few minutes. Ryan Ragland back with you at the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. And yeah, start quicker than and you get Mr. Dersler's name on here. I talked to Dan, tournament director. Out of 58 bowlers, only 8 did not average 200, and that's kind of crazy when you think about it. Get Daryl's name moved over there a little bit. There we go. I didn't see what Tony ended up with, but Tony comes up with the win. And Daryl, pretty solid day. He started off 193, a little slow. Then he comes up 258, 69, 22, 27, 59, and 78. So he had the timing of the last game. He just had to do it. The only I couldn't have the claim to fame. I had the highest last game. So some of the shots that Daryl was throwing were kind of on the rollout, but man, Daryl he doesn't get cheated. He gets a handful for sure. Which Kevin are you talking about, BJ? Let's see. I'm looking. I don't have the second page. Nope, no Kevin on the first page. But this was more of make sure you get the ball through the pins the right way, and as long as you hit a spot down lane, you didn't have to help the ball at all. Oh, Kevin Mason. You know, I think Mason's down on the backside. No, like I said, 129 over was 38th, and I just have the front sheet. So, I mean, I'm seeing names that wouldn't normally see down there, but man, it was just... It was just scoring. I'll let Kevin let you know. Kevin Fluffy Mason. Yeah, I'll let Kevin let you know about all that, and Tony set that one short. He's never really changed his angle too much. He started left and getting it right and just trying to get it through. I think he threw, I couldn't tell, he threw a practice shot with one on the fill ball. That was something that might get cleaner through the fronts. That's left. He made it, but it was left. Also, congratulations to Karen Rosenberg from Rolla. She was 190 over, and she was the top woman. Julius Mickle was the top non-cashing super senior, and Lewis Prather from Independence was the high at 70 or 70 years old and older. So nice showing. Really got that ball right. Yeah, Tony is smooth. It's amazing how clean he is through the fronts. I mean, he can get on it and he still just clears it nice. And I've tried so many times to just flatten my hand to pick up spare shots, kind of like he does. But yeah, I just kind of hard to teach that old dog new tricks now. Darrell with a ball change, and he just didn't get that one right. And Tony Yarborough getting warmed up on 24. Not sure if that was an exponent he was throwing, but it was kind of looked like it. I think it might be the Dynamax. Kind of an underrated ball. I haven't been able to throw it yet, but I know a lot of people like it. Yeah, we saw the Dynamax on that last shot. There's a ball change where Tony got real deep. He's actually playing sixth arrow now. I'm not sure what ball that is. Try to see if I can catch it coming out of the ball return. That, I think, might be the Astrophysics. And that ball's a lot cleaner in that face, too. At least that's what it looks like. Allows him to get a little bit further left and just really pitch it, just really stay aggressive with it to the spot. Yeah, he's throwing the Dino X or the Dynamax. So I didn't get to see. Darrell. He was on the opposite side of where I was. He got that out real quick. It's okay to get it out there, but you need that thing about 5 more feet down lane because it will rip off that spot real quick. That's For a second, I thought he was going to miss it, but it's, yeah, there's enough friction. Even the plastic's going to come back from that. Now we need to get ready for the. Now we need to get ready for the Chiefs game. So Tony with the double. Yeah, he's looking between 5 and 6. And I'm still believing that's astrophysics, and that ball will not stop. And Tony being so clean with the hand and so good getting the ball through the fronts, he retains so much energy on the back end. Where a lot of other people would, the ball might burn up a little bit, just enough where it doesn't finish hard enough. Smash. So Tony with a 4-bagger. So 7, 8 games, and finally Tony makes a ball change. See, now I wish I could listen to the Chiefs game. Got Kevin Harlan and Trent Green on. Kevin Harlan's the greatest. There you go. Now he got it down lane, and he got it to finish. So big movement by Darryl. Jan Thomas, are you guaranteeing a man and woman over 60 to cash in each tournament now? You'd have to talk to Dan about that. That is totally on him. Wow. Good shot, and the ball just burned up a pinch and just deflected really hard to the right after it hit the pins. I do know, I think it might depend on the count of women bowling, but you'd have to talk to Dan about that. Terrell Timberlake. I'll have to let Darryl know. Wow, that one took a hard jump, but that 4-bagger helps. So it's not going to hurt him too much. And I got to apologize. I'm about 3 weeks out from a sinus infection. This dry throat effect just stays with me a little bit longer than I'd like for it to be. So 9 out for Tony. You are welcome, Jan. If I had the info, I would definitely let you know. comes right back and packs it. So that kind of reminds me kind of a drill that I would do myself when I would practice. Kind of a mulligan kind of deal, but I would just throw strikes and try to make sure that I didn't miss, excuse me, I didn't miss more than twice. So say that I threw the ball and left a 10 pin, I would reset it and throw it again to get the spare, so that way I didn't miss 2 times in a row. Worked out sometimes it didn't. There, Darryl gets the kick out. So Darryl really needs to get the punch out, as he can go 2:15 and a 2:14 pace for Tony. Yeah, ball change on the left lane. Not sure why he did that. I thought what he had on the right lane looked pretty good, and I'm not sure what he switched to, but definitely more aggressive down lane. And the chop on the 610. So 183, and Tony really doesn't need a throwing one. He has 184 right now, so we'll take a timeout. Be back with a semifinal match here in a few minutes on the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. All right, Ryan Ragland back with you, the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Getting heckled over here because I'm dinging. Had to be from my tablet more than anything else. So Tony is going to start the match. Or I should say Tony Mena is going to start the match. And I went down and confirmed he is still in the astrophysics. If anyone has a 14-pound astrophysics, let me know. And I think Tony Yarbrough is going to go with the one, the remake of the one. I can't remember what they called it. He has a Stealth Pearl down there also that looked pretty good. And Tony Yarbrough is looking just a little right of 20. It's going to be kind of interesting with Tony Yarbrough playing out to that friction, and he's got a little bit higher tilt than most, so he can still get it through the fronts. So Yarbrough's going to start out with back-to-back spares. I asked him how he liked the Stealth Pearl. I had the solid, just didn't. I loved it out of the box. Absolutely loved it out of the box, and I must have been doing something wrong. I couldn't get it to, when I went to clean it, I couldn't get it to get back to what it was doing. And that might be me with solids, but that Stealth Pearl looks pretty good, being symmetrical. quite finished back for Tony. Wonder if Tony's going to try to give it just a little bit of airtime. Well, not really. Just stays clean with it. Didn't quite make it back. I think he might have got that one in a pinch, but the way he told his head, he kind of liked how it looked. Uh-oh. He did that once before pulling it left. I didn't know if he was going to get it or not. So don't have a strike yet. Man, Tony goes with that stealth pearl, and he plays it a little bit further left, which seems to work out pretty well. You know, trying to see if I can find I'll show the schedule up. I believe next month we go to Gage Bowl in Topeka, and then that's a Saturday tournament, and then Flint Hills in Emporia for that Sunday. So it's the first of our back-to-back weekend. Well, I guess it'd be the second since we opened up with the doubles with the back-to-back weekend. Not quite. So there's the schedule. So we'll go to Flint or to Gage on the 25th, that's Saturday after Thanksgiving, and then Flint Hills the 26th. And then we have the back-to-back at Revolutions on the 16th and 17th. So make sure you get signed up for those. It's going to be a tough field. I've seen some of the pre-entries, and yeah, you got some hitters on there. Yeah. 20 on Tony to win. I'll give you 2-1. Hey, we got our first strike of the evening in the semifinal match. How do the Panthers come up and win a freaking game the way Houston's been playing? That's just terrible. So a double by Yarborough. Yeah, watch that thing peel off. That stealth pearl looks pretty good for Yarborough. Just may have to check that one out. Nice back-to-back shots. Good ball change by Yarborough. Yeah, Kevin Mason over there. I think there's an empty bucket in front of Kevin. I don't know if that's his or not. Not sure what that was. Yeah, that one got in. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do in this house is start it in, because it is going to run. You just hope it catches Brooklyn. And that one caught neither of them. Just barely misses the 310. So that's going to put Mana in a bad spot. He's going to have to get a string going here. That one flushed up. I never did went over the scores that Tony Yarborough had. He goes 258, 06, 58, 37, 68, 56, and 23. So he only had that one game. I think he was talking about a 9-pin or something that he thought might have cost him. And I kind of told him, I said, yeah, you and about 57 other people. That'll peel off. It'll peel off, but not enough. It depends on how far down the lane you get it. So Tony Mana working on the strike in the 7th. Spare for Yarborough in the 7th. .234 possibility for Mana. .237 possibility for Yarborough. So looks like this will be coming down to the stretch. Pin carry has been a little strange. You really didn't see scouts if you go to leave a flat 10, you didn't get a whole lot of taps to knock the 10 out. I only saw one, and that was Tony Mana late in the tournament. See if Tony Mana can get a huge double in this match. There, he's starting to get a little bit of air time on it and get the ball to finish. Just flushes that one back. Man has the tools. That's the easiest way to put it. So Yarbrough really could use a 4-bagger, starting with this one. Yeah, he got that one way right and really had to peel off, and there was just no chance of recovery. So on the spare, that's going to give him a possibility of a 212 max. And if Mana goes 9 spare strike, that'd give him 213. So John Crocker will be taking on the winner of this match in the finals, as he really hasn't been warming up too much, just kind of pacing himself. And that one, Tony kept that one in and really finished well. Yeah, he kept that one in again too and really flushed it. So a strike here gives him 214, which will force Tony Manna to get the first one in the 10th. There he goes. So nice finish for Tony Yarborough. So a strike to win for Tony Manna. And flushes it. So Tony Manna Jr. is going to advance on to the championship against Mike Croker, or excuse me, John Croker. And we will be back with that match in a couple minutes. now I'm even more hungry than when I was before it started. Ryan Ragland with you with a finals match with John Crocker. See, she even got me typing his name wrong. It's an N, not M. There we go. John Crocker and Tony Manna Jr. Tony Yarborough's wife's over here making me hungry, and I haven't had anything. I'm delegating myself down to McDonald's because I didn't bowl well enough to have snack bar food. Anyway, John Crocker is elected to finish first. As we talked to John earlier, he goes 226, 35, 47, 48, 42, 57, or 54 and 57. And Tony Manna is trying to run the gauntlet as he defeated Rafe Terry 26 to 197. Darryl Dersler 235 to 183. Defeated Tony Yarborough 234 to 214, and now John Crocker. So he's gone 26, 35, 34. You got to think it's going to be about 230 to win. And John Crocker's throwing the zen that he got the idea for me over at Sterling. I'm already getting a text from a Denver's fan telling me that Kansas City should look better than this. And I go, they will. Don't worry. They'll be all right. So John Crocker opens up with a double. So I got to say 230, 235 is probably going to be a good winning number. Now he's looking 6th arrow, really getting it at the bottom of the release with the hand to get it to recover. Not a problem, Ken. That's another reason why I like to chat. We can find out if something's a little bit off. We can do that. So, yeah, next time just remind me. If it's not loud enough, I'll fix it for you. And he hits it. There's something he didn't like about that. I'm not sure what, unless he thought he got that in or something, but he still gets through the ball so clean through the fronts and really keeping the hand on it. Last match we went up to the 5th or 6th frame before we got our first strike. Now we're perfect through 3 on both sides. And 4 for 4. Well, looks like it's going to be over 235 to win this match. Tony's right up against the ball return. Bang. So 8 for 8 for the two of them. Wow, got that one really right. Might be the first time I've seen Tony throw a rollout shot and be happy about it. He got under that and he sailed it right about 30 feet, and the ball came off that friction, just stopped. That one's in and sets. Well, 5 or 5, so we got one that pitches it right, gets it to die off. And John Crocker pulls it and it's still set, so tit for tat. And he folds the 4-7. So the front 6 for John Crocker. That's the shot he was looking for last time. That one laid off just a pinch at the end, but still pushed through enough. Kansas City better get on the horse. They're about ready to be down 14-3 to Denver, and that cannot happen. So we are 7 for 7. I see this like a, oh God, what, 2000, no, 90, was it 94, 95, Mike Albee and David Ozio in Wichita. Ozio goes ring 10 in the 10th and strikes for 279, and Albee shoots his 300. That's left. Wow. Wow. Hey, next time she's going to be around, and she's going to make me hungry, she can sit over there. Tell me about this place in Nixa.
It's called 14 Mills.
Mill Market.
That's where I'm going. We hit the Ozarks for the tournament. That's where we're going after we get done with double singles. So that's. She's telling me about the salami and the sandwiches. I like. Yeah, just tease me a little bit more, okay? That one's left. And he caught the break, tripping the 10 out. Well, I was going to say, since Tony Yarborough's here, you that one in the ninth just got right, and you left a couple 2-8s.
Yeah, 2 shots in a row on that right lane. Got way right, more than I wanted to, and it hangs. But if you don't get it right, it's through the nose. As you see, Tony's only mistakes on the right lane are through the nose. And I just, not enough time on that pair. So I used a ball I didn't use all day. So I just, couldn't get it zeroed in quick enough.
Well, and you made the shots in the 10th to force Tony to get the first one in the 10th.
Absolutely, and like the savvy veteran that he is, he did it great.
Kind of like what he did right there.
Exactly.
Well, I made the comment with John Crocker when he was here. It's not surprising that Tony made the show, because this angle and this play, this is what he can do all day long and just hurt you.
Definitely in his wheelhouse. Not that he can't play every arrow on the lane and play it well, but I think he loves to play deep.
Well, in that hand, I mean, you're hard pressed to find anyone has a cleaner hand and can get the ball through the fronts as well as he does.
Absolutely. I mean, he's former Team USA for a reason, and all these years later, he still throws it phenomenal.
I think he'll be doing it for a while, and we better get better real quick.
I totally agree.
Tony Yarbrough coming in third place after his match, and he's got the front 9. Front 10, excuse me. So that's going to be a win for John Crocker, as he has the front 10. Now it's just a matter of semantics. Didn't face up enough. So possible 289 for John Crocker and a win here at Gladstone. And we'll talk to John and Tony as soon as they're done. So 289 and a championship win for John Crocker. And Tony Mana is going to go up and finish his 10th frame. Almost running the gauntlet. All right, Tony Mana. Wow, 279, 289. All right, boys, out of the way. You already got your camera time. We'll get with Tony here real quick. And I made the comment early. I'm not surprised that you made the show, because the way these lanes are playing. This is really what you like to do. You like to get left, stay nice with it, and just let it feed.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel more comfortable playing in and just letting it ball flow through the lane. Yeah, absolutely. That's my A game.
And you really did make a bold change from the phase 2 and up until the last game to that astrophysics, and then a little bit later, starting to get a little bit more hand, a little bit loft to get it to feed down lane. It was just a matter of hitting the spot down lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to stick with the same ball all day long. I just kept moving, transitioning with the lane, and here on this pair, the right lane was probably 2 arrows more than other lanes, so I just had to get out of that ball just because I couldn't get it down the lane anymore.
Yeah, and it looked like it was, like I said, it's just hitting that spot down lane. If you can't get there, you got to bail out on it. But still, almost running the gauntlet. I think you might have been the first one in a couple years that would run the gauntlet coming from the first match.
Well, I gave it a run. That's all I can do.
All right, nice job, Tony. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And John Crocker, dude, we talked about it early. It's the Zen that comes in, and do I get a cut off? No, that was from Sterling. If you would have made it from Sterling, so I don't get anything off this one, right?
Not this one. No, Sterling was a freebie. It's an introductory rate.
Introductory rate. I didn't know I had those. Now I do. Yeah. But I mean, man, when you're going up against Tony Mana Jr. and you're going tit for tat, you got to stay on it each frame.
Yeah, the gauntlet today for the top 5 was a gauntlet. You had to bring your A game, and every one of these guys, because I mean they're not going to let you off easy. And like you said, Tony's a tough guy. So anybody that you meet up in the finals here, got to be ready to roll.
And I still say this was probably one of the better house shots in the KC area. It still held up well. It wasn't like stupid house play after 8, 9, 10 games. There's still a shot out there that you can still throw it multiple ways. We already saw that through the matches.
It was, and just like Tony was talking about, the right lane was probably a couple arrows longer to get down the lane because we need a little bit more speed, but the left lane stayed in all day. So I was just trying to keep the speed up on the right lane, keep with the transition, and obviously it worked. Big's in.
Yeah, maybe I need to bring in fact, I did bring mine. I just didn't bring it out. So anyway, nice shot.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations, and we'll see you next month.
Thanks,
John Crocker coming up with the win here at Gladstone Bowl. And that's going to do it for us. In fact, I think I probably should have stood a little bit higher because I probably got blocked off by that lower third. But anyway, John Crocker comes up with the win, 289 to 279 against Tony Mata Jr. So thanks for joining us. And next month, in fact, let me pull that banner up here real quick again. You can take a look at the schedule. And there we go. Next month, it's going to be at Gage Bowl on November 25th. And that's on a Saturday, the 26th, at Flint Hill Lanes in Emporia. And then right after that, we're going to have the non-champions December 16th at Revolutions Lanes in St. Joe, Missouri. And then we'll have the Open on the 17th at Revolutions Lanes. So back-to-back doubleheader weeks, weeks, whatever you want to call it, weekends. So it's we'll see you the 25th at Gage and the 26th at Flint Hills in Emporia. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for all the sponsors. Bullmore Lanes of Route 66 in Osage Beach and Lebanon, Missouri. Lisa Finley with Shelter Insurance and Finley Transportation in St. Joe, Storm, Rotogrip 900 Global. Renewal by Anderson Face Designs and McCarthy Auto Group for their sponsorship and keeping the tournament going. So once again, congratulations to John Crocker, excuse me. God, I did it again. John Crocker with the win here at Gladstone Bowl. Have a great weekend. Go Chiefs, and we will see you next month in Topeka at Gage Bowl.